Star Wars Hunters is a brand new free-to-play third-person arena combat game set in the Star Wars universe around the time of The Mandalorian, and in this video I'll be going over all of the key elements of the game for those of you who want to know more about it. But before I get into all of that, this video is sponsored by Zynga, who are the publishers behind Star Wars Hunters. So just want to say a huge thank you to them for supporting me and the channel. And if a free-to-play Star Wars third-person shooter already sounds enticing enough for you, then be sure to give this QR code on screen right now a scan so that you can download the game for yourself. Or if you prefer to use a link, there is also that in the description of this video. And every single download using my link or my QR code supports me and the channel even further, so it would be hugely appreciated. But getting right into it, the game is available to download for free on the Nintendo Switch, iOS and Android devices, so it's perfect to play at home docked in on the big screen, but you can also go via handheld methods. And I personally have been playing this on my iPhone 13 since it became available in the soft launch early 2022, and because it's on my phone, when I get a craving to play it at work or on the bus, I can simply just jump on for a couple of games. And now that it's on the Switch as well, I can even have the big screen console experience that I've always wanted with it, and it's so far been very enjoyable. As a Star Wars fan as well, and as many of you will already know, I'm super excited to see all of the new playable content that relates back to the franchise in different ways from this game, and with Hunters that comes in various forms. Firstly, there are the Hunters themselves, who are the playable characters in the game. Then there are of course the maps that you actually play on, and tons of awesome, unique and inspired cosmetics for everyone. Starting off with the Hunters though, at this moment in time there are currently 13 completely unique Hunters to play as, all of whom are new and original characters to the Star Wars canon, and have taken big inspiration from parts of the franchise. For example, the newest Hunter into the roster is the long-awaited Mandalorian character of Aaron Tool. Alongside him we've also got a bounty hunter in Amara Vex, who you may recognise from the comics, as well as a stormtrooper, a dark side assassin, a droid who thinks he's a Jedi, a rebel trooper and so much more. Everyone is completely unique with their own playstyle and set of abilities, whilst fitting into one of three roles, which are damage, tank and support, which are all pretty self-explanatory. But everyone in the game so far has been so much fun to play as and grind. Diago, Aaron Tool, Sentinel and Utuni are probably up there with my top 4 as my favourites currently. J3 is also up there a lot as well, but I'd say those are probably my top 4 currently. And then of course you have the playable maps, which have come from various places in Star Wars. Now Star Wars Hunters takes place on a planet called Vespara, which is a brand new planet to the Star Wars canon from this game, and as this is essentially a sporting arena, the arena battlefields in the game are inspired by iconic locations from the franchise, just like how the Hunters are inspired by iconic characters and archetypes as well. Already in the game there are a number of maps set on Tatooine, with Mos Espa Way Station being a personal favourite of mine, with it not only being fun to play but also full of Easter eggs and things to look at that Star Wars fans will absolutely appreciate. And then we've also got maps on Endor, the Death Star, Vespara itself, and there's even a map on Vandor, which is the train heist planet from Solo: A Star Wars Story. So they're already reaching into new territories that we've never seen before in any other Star Wars game, which to me is very exciting. Going back to the Hunters themselves, the cosmetics in this game are absolutely unreal. At the moment you have 4 different ways to customize each Hunter. Firstly, there are the costumes, which are the main cosmetics for each Hunter. Then you have the weapon wrap, which are essentially skins for the weapons that each Hunters use. Then there are the stickers, which are essentially an emote wheel that you can use in game. And finally you have victory poses, which get shown off at the end of a match if you win. Going into each one a little bit deeper, let's take a look at the costumes first of all. Naturally, with each Hunter being unique and having a backstory to them, some of the cosmetics are completely new and never before seen pieces of armour and clothing that are related to the backstory of these characters, or they just simply look really cool, like the Marine Trooper skin for Sentinel for example, or this Pitside Medic skin for Scorer. There are also a lot of costumes in the game like this, but then you've got tons of costumes pulled directly from characters and things from the wider Star Wars universe. Let's take a look at J3DI for example. He typically has skins inspired by Jedi and the vehicles that Jedi use. For example, he has this legendary skin inspired by Kelleran Beck, who is the Jedi that saved Grogu from Order 66, and even his default appearance is based off of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He also has skins inspired on the ships, as I said, so he has this Obi-Wan Delta 7 skin and Anakin's ETA-2 Jedi Interceptor. So with that in mind, there are countless possibilities for skins for J3DI. Naturally though, other characters are quite similar in that aspect, where Reeve has costumes inspired by the Sith and Darkside characters, Sentinel is the same but for Stormtrooper variants, Aaron Tool with Mandalorians, and so on. The weapon wraps are very much the same, and these are essentially skins for the weapons of each hunter that go in line with the costumes. For example, Sprocket, who is the Mon Calamari hunter in the game, gets costumes where he himself is the pilot of a particular vehicle, and the weapon wrap for his chair and training remotes are skins based on the actual vehicles themselves. Currently you're seeing me use a Cloud Car pilot skin for Sprocket himself, and his weapon wrap is inspired by the actual Cloud Car itself. So you'll see a lot more of those kind of things with this game, which as a Star Wars fan I absolutely adore, and I'm sure many of you will as well. Then there's the stickers, which like I said are essentially emoticons that you can display above your head in game, which can show emotions from a particular hunter, or they take things from the wider universe, like this Jar Jar Binks sticker and this one of Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul. So just like the other costumes and cosmetics, there are so many different possibilities as to what you can do with them, and they're really fun to use in game, so I'm really excited to see what's to come with the future of those. And finally then we do have the victory poses as well, which are simply fun poses which can sometimes be very dynamic that show up at the end of a game if you win. Now we do also actually have avatars which go onto your actual profile, and these are a bit like stickers in the sense that you can have ones that are pretty hunter specific, which showcase really cool images of them, or they're taken directly from scenes in the Star Wars universe, like this Luke and Darth Vader fight on Bespin, which is my current avatar. So to put a long story short on cosmetics, there are literally tons in the game already that you can unlock via various progression systems, in-store purchases, or the Arena Pass, and the amount of potential for these cosmetics is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, as you might know, I love cosmetics in games, especially when it comes to Star Wars, so if you're like me, then you will absolutely not be disappointed, especially if you're a big fan of the franchise. Finally, Star Wars Hunters contains a variety of different PvP game modes, such as Dynamic Control, Power Control, Trophy Chase, and Squad Brawl. Each mode provides a different experience to one another, and whilst games can be quick at times, they can also be super intense if both teams are working well together. So even if you're playing solo or with friends, the game is really enjoyable to play, and I want to just keep on playing more now that it's finally here. And you can take that from someone who's already been playing this game for 2.5 years. Star Wars Hunters is a game that I've been wanting for years, even years before it was announced I've wanted an arena shooter like this. So if you want to join me in the arena, then be sure to download the game using my link in the description. As I said earlier, it helps me out a lot and means you get to experience the fun that I've been having for a long time now. So hopefully I will see you guys out there in the arena. That is everything from me today though. A big thank you once again to Zynga for sponsoring this video. If you do have any questions on the game, then please do let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.